Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. MSI has recently announced a bunch of new gaming routers. They're entering the router game, ladies and gents. Today we're going to take a look at one of those new routers, the AX6600. This is a Wi-Fi 6 router with 2.5 gigabit WAN, gigabit LAN as well. Let's take a look at how to set it up and all of the things that make this router tick. But I do need to say this video is sponsored by MSI, so this video is not a review. Let's take a look. MSI has announced 3 products today. They've got the AXE6600, which is the Wi-Fi 6E version. It's also got RGB on the antennas, which is something that we haven't really seen before on routers. They've also got the AX6600, which is the router that we've got here that we'll be taking a look at in this video. And also the AX1800, which is a brand new USB Wi-Fi adapter. MSI just did a huge virtual launch for all of these products, and I'll put a link to that in the description if you want to watch their full video. But let's take a look at the AX6600 and what makes it tick. The AX6600 is powered by a 1.8 gigahertz quad-core processor, but that's not the interesting thing about this. If I'm being honest, MSI has a bit of a history in making GPUs and motherboards, so they know a thing or two about cooling stuff. So the way they're actually cooling the CPU is with a big old heatsink covered in graphene with some heat pipes in the classic gamer and MSI way. Only MSI would cool a router with some heat pipes and a massive heatsink, right? On the AX6600, you can do up to 8 streams simultaneously on 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi or 2 streams on 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. As well as that, this can all run at 6600 megabits, or something that is even more interesting, they're saying you can have up to 60 clients connected simultaneously. I wish I knew 60 people so we could test that out. The AX6600 also has 6 antennas for maximum coverage. That is a lot of antennas on a router. If you flip this upside down, it kind of looks like a spider or a crab. Cue the crab rave. Wi-Fi 6 isn't the only feature of this Wi-Fi router. Obviously, it's a Wi-Fi router. It's got Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi is pretty decent, right? But it does have 2.5 gigabit Ethernet as well. So if you've got multi-gig internet coming into your house, let's say you've got a really nice fiber connection, you can utilize that. You've also got 4 gigabit LAN ports as well. So if you're trying to connect up other PCs or other things on your network that need direct Ethernet, you can do that as well. The 2.5 gigabit WAN port can be reconfigured to run as a 2.5 gigabit LAN port. I think that's pretty nice that they give you the option to allow you to reconfigure that port and basically do whatever you want with it. On the rear of the AX6600, you've also got a USB 3.2 Gen 1 port, so you can use that for things like plugging in your thumb drives or even an external hard drive. Let's say you don't have network attached storage, plug in a USB hard drive and you got network attached storage. For those interested in some of the internal specifications as well, you got 256 megs of flash storage. So that's for the operating system on the router and for any little bits of updates and stuff that needs to happen, as well as 512 megs of DDR4 memory for the RAM. So what do we got? Quad core, 1.8 gigahertz processor, 256 megs of storage and 512 megs of RAM. Sounds like a PC because technically, this is a very clever computer that handles all of your networking. It's got a feature called AI QoS, or in other words, Artificial Intelligence Quality of Service. And basically the way this works is the router is smart enough to adapt to different usages and different scenarios. So if you're gaming, it will prioritize latency. So when it communicates with the game servers that you're playing with, there's also a mode for streaming. So if you're watching stuff like Netflix and whatnot, it will prioritize raw throughput because latency isn't really an issue when you're watching that kind of stuff. It's got a work from home mode, which actually helps prioritize both people streaming content and gaming. So everyone has their own slice of the pie when it comes to bandwidth. And the other mode is auto mode. And all of this can be controlled by the MSI RadiX app on your phone. So you don't actually need to log into a computer at all. Just install the MSI app on your phone and you're good to go, and you can control all of those things. But that's not the only thing about the app. You can actually set up the router from scratch with a brand new setup on your phone. Let's take a look at how to set that up. This is for people who've never set up a router before, because there are people out there who haven't actually done this themselves. Very, very easy, guys. Plug in the power cable, and I know this sounds ridiculous because it's just so easy, and we'll plug in the WAN cable. Well, this will be from your internet service provider, or if you're using this as an access point, this will be to the rest of your network. We'll plug that in, and then we'll press the power button, and we'll let it boot up, and we'll get on our way. All right, you can see that we've got an internet connection and it's powered on. Let's set it up on the phone. To set up the router, all you need to do is download the MSI RadiX app. You can get that from either the App Store or Google Play or whichever device that you're using. And we're just gonna tap setting new MSI router. We're gonna wanna scan the QR code. We hit scan QR code, get our router, we'll go underneath it. It should be okay even if it's upside down. Scan the QR code. Now we're just waiting for the Wi-Fi to connect. Wi-Fi is connecting. We'll hit sign in, I guess, with the default stuff here. Sign in, verify the password, right? So the password, we'll just copy and paste it, right, to make our life easy. And hit create account. What we're gonna do is choose our connection type. Ours is DHCP. It could be different for your network and your internet setup. So we'll do a DHCP. And this is going to be all of the settings that we've got set on the router here. We'll let it do its magic, and it applies the settings to the router. The initial setup is done. Let's sign in. What we're looking at now is the dashboard for this router, and the web interface would be quite similar to this as well. Currently it's set to AI Auto. Let's change it to gaming. And I mean, that's the gist of it really, is you can just select the AI modes. There's also a manual setting mode too, which allows you to do traditional QoS and set the maximum bandwidth. The default IP address for your brand new MSI RadiX router is 192.168.10.1, unless you set it up differently, but that's the default IP to log in. Now we'll just log in with the credentials we created on the phone previously, and now we're in. We can see that it's quite similar to the interface that we saw on the phone, but there are a lot more settings here. So we can set up all the QoS stuff, but what I'm more interested in now is the advanced settings, because we can set up the WAN connection here. So this detects our WAN as being 2.5 gigabit because I've got this plugged into our 10 gigabit network. So yeah, it's running at 2.5 gig. So I think our internet connection is 2.5 gig, which is kind of cool. Let's say you're setting up a game server at home and you want to open up some ports so your friends can connect to your Minecraft server. This is how you would do it. Parental controls, look at this one, right? We can go enable and we can set up all kinds of things. Look, Claire, we don't want people to look at adult content. We don't want them to gamble. We don't want violence. We don't want them looking up drugs and guns.
Why not?
I don't know. Well, the malicious, the phishing attacks and the virus one's probably a good one. I think the other ones can probably stay. And for all those parents out there who are trying to stop their kids from playing Fortnite at 2 in the morning, just lock them out. It's fine. No biggie. I mean, I would. Who plays Fortnite? Modern Warfare, baby. Let's go, season 2. We've got our quality of service settings. This is basically everything you're seeing on the main page there. We've got our USB settings. Samba server, this is just regular file sharing stuff. So I gotta say, if I'm being honest, that this is actually laid out quite well compared to other routers. Even for people who aren't super familiar with router firmwares and setting stuff up, this is pretty easy so far. Especially for stuff like if you're wanting to set up the Samba server, this is if you plug in a USB disk. This is giving you all the network credentials and stuff to set up. The thing that you guys actually really want to know is speed test on the phone. Let's see how we go on the phone. Ready? Let's hit it. Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. That is some serious speed. Don't worry about our upload. It's pretty bad here in Australia, but that's actually not too bad at all. Nice. MSI is running a giveaway. They're basically giving away 2 of everything for all of these new RadiX products. So we'll link to that in the description down below if that's something that you're interested in, but getting quick because yeah, these routers are looking quite interesting. And if you want to see us do more networking content, let us know in the comment section down below, because you guys know it's stuff that I'm interested in. I worked in this in my professional career before YouTube. so I know a thing or two about this stuff, ladies and gents. Anyways, if you like this video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. Hit the join button if you want to get the music that we make in these videos as well. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I am your sponsored by MSI Boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peak, we seek him. We'll catch you next time.